That's why I got to hit this. Okay. Oh, I got the wrong banner up too. Hang on. Let me do this. Hang on. I got to do this first.
Do. Rikki is like, what is that?
I know what it is. It's the football. Yeah. Exactly.
So I did a good job doing that then, it sounds like.
You did do a good job, idiots.
You haven't heard that enough this week.
You did a good job. Don't feel
a
bad.
lot of
I figured it out. So.
There's someone at my office, my work, Jackson, announced one of the Lions draft picks.
Shut up.
Yeah, I learned that today.
That's pretty cool.
That is awesome. Yeah.
He what with the Lions draft pick?
This girl that I work with, because the draft was in Michigan.
Oh yeah.
Got to announce one of the draft picks. Yeah. That's kind of cool.
That's really cool.
It was in Detroit. 700,000 people were there, Rikki.
That's a lot. I know there were a lot of people there.
700,000. That was ridiculous. That's crazy.
Yes, it is.
That's like that.
I should have gone to the airport just to see like all like the media, like flying in and out.
Oh yeah. Totally. What's up, Len? What's up, Margie? All right. We are going to answer your list of questions. You have questions. We have answers. What company? There was a company that was like your tagline.
What up, Len? Pretty soon, the Okemos spring concert's coming. I think that's going to be Ottinger's last big thing for Okemos. So hopefully we give him a big shout out there.
Who?
Matt Ottinger. He's this guy that's worked in the school district for like 30 plus years. We were talking about it on one episode. He did like the Quizbusters. You remember Quizbusters like back in the day, right? Or
no.
Like didn't St. Louis didn't have like a quiz show with like high school?
It was called DB's Delight.
Okay, ours was called Quizbusters. So he kind of like ran that. So he's been an Okemos legend for like 35 years, but he's retiring and he does like all the film stuff for the school. So he'll film the band concert coming up. I think that's gonna be like his last big thing that he's doing.
Oh, yep. Look at Windows. Yep. Look at that.
Look at that. He videotaped Len's wedding.
Nice. Yeah, our guy was Guy Phillips. He was a morning radio host. He's retired recently, but yeah, and he had a puppet with him. Do you remember that show, Rikki? You probably don't remember that show. You're probably too young.
I remember Guy Phillips. I don't remember a puppet.
You don't remember DB's Delight? It was on Saturday mornings. Like little schools would go downtown. It was in the Channel 4 studio.
No.
And 2 schools would go and like they'd pick their smartest kid and they'd play like a quiz show against each other.
No.
Oh, dude, it was awesome. It was like a little puppet that would just like Joan on the kids. Like it would just like make fun of the kids.
So don't.
It was so mean. It was kind of like a Waldorf and Stadler or whatever, but it was like
God. I honest to God do not remember that at all.
Like the late 70s, early 80s. So like a kid would miss a question, he'd be like, like make fun of him. Like, I mean, dude, there was no worry about self-esteem with this little puppet.
And I'm not trying to call out Len. 40 years of marriage is awesome, but you knew it had to have been a little while ago because he used the term videotaped because
that's true. That's
like because he would have had like the big camcorder, right?
Easy, dude. We got a videotape from our wedding too.
I have a DVD.
No, ours. No, wait. Ours is on DVD. Ours is on DVD. It is on DVD.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
I love. Have you seen those Instagram videos where people will act like they like were filming like Epcot today, but it's like they edit it in a way so it like looks like it's 80s like camcorder footage. Like, have you seen those?
A little, yeah.
I think they're sweet looking. So you like see Guardians, but it's all like grainy, with like the
yeah.
So there's a iPhone stock app. It's called Clips.
That's probably what these people are doing.
Yeah, Clips has like a filter you throw on there, and it's that. Yeah,
it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Stock, I think. Yeah, but yeah, early anniversary to Len and his wife. I know she recorded an episode with you before. I think.
Absolutely, and she's doing another one coming up.
Sweet.
We're going on their Disneyland trip. We're going to talk about that. Yeah, my 40 years, my wife will probably murder me before then, so that probably won't happen. I'll be dead. Big old tapes, yes. Holy cow! Look at that. They had the TV truck. Look at that, Scott. Dude, they had the TV truck. Dude,
that is serious.
They had a switcher, dude. I could see like the satellite dishes outside their church or whatever, their reception.
Dude.
Holy cow.
Len's wedding was turned into a TV series.
Yeah, it was like a Super Bowl. With Len, do you take Jen? Yes, my first round draft pick.
I'm sure somebody has done that actually, now that I think about it.
Oh, you guys are killing me. Okay. We got to do a show. Let's see. So I got a question here. Okay. I got to quit eating crackers at the computer because I got crumbs all over me.
Jared just texted me like he's on the fantasy right now at sea. He's like, have a good podcast.
Yeah. I can't wait 67 days and I'll be in O'Gills. I love O'Gills. Oh, I love O'Gills because they play sports and you can just hang out in there. It's awesome.
I just love that ship, man.
I do, man. That's my favorite ship. Oh, I love fantasy. All right, let's do a show. 247.
I still might pick the Dream just because I've been on there more, but I got to get back on the fantasy.
I think the fantasy is just like a millimeter step up. But I've been on the Dream the most. I mean, the same ship.
So
okay, here we go.
What are we doing? Listener questions? Is that what it is?
So Rikki get her coughs out. As soon as I said that, she got a little coffee cough. Of course.
Straight double. I mean, we should have some action on the Tigers Cardinals doubleheader.
Dude, the Cardinals are terrible. They got walked off yesterday. I'm not.
Yeah, we went. Team. We had the Royals in town this last weekend. Now the Cardinals is just kind of funny. Like seasons like that would have been a good road series because we could have just stayed in the state. You know,
that's true. The Royals are pretty good this year. They're in first place, I think.
We're only half a game behind them.
Yeah, I mean that's before the Royals.
I don't look at the standings. This is my rule until Memorial Day, but I have an idea what their record is. But yeah, I refuse to look at standings before Memorial Day.
Well, I normally don't look at I haven't looked at the standings for the American League, but I did see this graphic on MLB tonight, and it showed like if the playoffs were today, I'm like, it's April, and it showed the.
I know. I saw the Tigers and the Royals were in.
Yeah, it showed the Royals playing the Yankees. I
think the Guardians are actually in first. I think Cleveland is like doing really good.
Yeah, they are. Yep.
All right, I know we should probably start. I think we're still waiting on.
Rikki's getting a drink here. Hang on. Hang on. House band.
And with the first pick of the draft, Rikki chooses a water.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some hold music.
Thanks, Deanna. Yeah, I was definitely fighting for my life.
We're like big brothers. I mean, actually, Rikki's slightly older than me, though. But no.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah,
just got that reminder out there. We're both 83 years, but you got me by a few months.
I got you by a few months.
We care for Rikki.
We know she's on. Yeah.
We were just trying to take away from the. We were just trying to distract the listeners so they weren't like focusing on Rikki.
That's right.
Having a cough attack.
From her dying, it's fine.
I could have zoomed in on her and like I could have done this and like
we could
have gotten a Lens camera crew out and
there you go.
Full feature on it.
All right, I'm ready now.
We good? Okay, yeah. We're good. Okay, here we
go. Tuesday now already, right?
Taco Tuesday. Here we go. 2479. Here we go. 44 and we're rolling. Welcome to episode 2479 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you are having a great week. Let's get ready to answer your listener questions and have some fun talking about Walt Disney World, Disneyland, and Disney Cruise Line, where I cannot wait to be in less than 70 days. Not that I'm obsessed, but I am with the Disney fantasy right now. Shout out to my friends Jared and Stacy who are checking her out right now for me. Can't wait to get the report back. How's O'Gills? How's the Tube? How's Cove Cafe? Can't wait to be there. It's going to be soon. But we got to get through some listener questions. That's why you're here. So let's get it going today. Joining me from DisneyWorldAfterall.com and theMouseForLess.com, where you can find out all the latest information on all the Disney destinations. We have Rikki. Rikki, what's going on? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Yeah, it's already been a crazy week with news. So, if you want the latest and greatest, I've got it for you. So, especially if you're into that other park, that park that starts with a U, Universal. They may have some things this summer. I'm just throwing that out there. So,
not worried about it. I'll be out at sea.
So, we'll see. There's some fun stuff happening, so it'll be a good summer, I think, for both Walt Disney World and Universal. So let's just put it at that.
As long as I don't get rid of ET, I'm good.
I think ET is going to have to stick around, so I think you're safe. Yeah.
I mean, that's if I ever go back, that's why, because I want to ride ET again.
That seems like a legitimate thing. I mean, that attraction is definitely Steven Spielberg's drug-fueled nightmare, but
it's my childhood. It's the best. I mean,
it may not be a nightmare. It depends on your take of things, but it definitely has some interesting looking characters. Let's just put it at that. And for some people, they may be characters of nightmares. For some people, they may be lovable little aliens. I don't know. You choose.
I mean, phone home.
Phone home. Yes.
I do. I mean, that's what we ask everybody to do every Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Speaking of that, the other guy you can phone home to, my good buddy and yours, hashtag Scotty G, sitting in for Pam Forrester, who's still out at Pixar Fest on the West Coast. What's up, Scott?
Happy Wednesday and happy May. Like, I feel like I say this more as I get older, but like, where has the year gone? Like, how is it already May 1st? But with that, I'm excited to say that next month, I'm going to Europe for 18 days, baby.
Woo-hoo! That's awesome. So exciting.
So I saw in Trisha, shout out Trisha up in Wisconsin, who kind of is the heart and soul of our clubhouse, the Be Our Guest podcast Discord, said, "Hey, Mike, why don't you start a channel for countdowns and meetups?" And I said, you know what? Why don't we have a channel for that? And 2 seconds later, we had one because it's super easy to add a channel. So if you have ideas, just drop them in.
And 5 seconds after that, there were like 30 people with countdowns.
Dude, exactly. Then the channel blew up because I didn't think of it and she did, and it was awesome. But here's the thing, and I saw you post in it, and your countdown was like so close. I didn't realize you were leaving that soon. Like, yeah, so
50 days.
You have a long trip of 50 some days.
Yeah, I mean, this episode's dropping on Wednesday, so 7 weeks from today, we're traveling to Europe. I'm so excited. We're gonna go on 2 back-to-back 7-night cruises: Norway, France, Spain, UK, and we're ending it with Disneyland Paris. Like, it's just gonna be an epic trip.
That's awesome.
I can't wait. And Mike, like, I'm so excited for your trip. It's so funny. Like, we both got on these. It's weird. Like, we're taking different trips because we normally travel together in the summer. And like, I'm so excited for yours, so excited for mine. And when mine ends, like, I'm going to be heartbroken, but hey, that's when yours starts. So then I can like follow along on that. So, when one great trip ends, another one starts.
Well, that's how I'm excited for yours, because I mean, you're going to places that I hope to get to someday. And I mean, yours is such an international epic adventure, and I've sailed Royal before a couple times, and you're doing that. And so
I'm excited to get a taste of it because I've done Disney so many times. Like, and this doesn't mean like I'm never not going to do Disney Cruise Line again. We all know that I adore Disney Cruise Line. It's my favorite vacation, really. But I'm just excited to try something different. Like, I'm sure I'll fall down the rabbit hole, right, of like trying to compare things, and I hope I don't do that, but naturally it's going to happen. But I'm excited to see the difference, and you absolutely know I'll be excited to go back on Disney Cruise Line very soon too. So,
but I mean, that's going to be good because, that like week or two right before my vacation, like I'll just be, can we leave now? At least I can watch you, right? Yeah. And with the Discord, like, I mean, you're getting lots of great advice, because one of the great things about our Discord lately is we've had a lot of international friends join us. Of course, we have Simon over there. We have Mr. Mohawk there from Scotland. He's given lots of tips. Ian is in there all the time with great tips. So you are set up for Disneyland Paris. I mean, you're not there long enough for all the tips you're getting. I will say that. I've noticed that.
I know. I was thinking about that. Like, everyone's giving all these dining recommendations. I'm like, yeah, probably going to have dinner there one time. So I better choose wisely.
Exactly. But shout out to everybody over there, because you guys are being awesome with the tips. All right. First question of the day comes from Cindy over in the inbox. Says, hello, BOGP crew. I had a thought regarding the new expansion area of the Magic Kingdom and want to get your thoughts on this idea. As you know, speaking of, Disneyland Paris is expanding and renaming part of that park to Disney Adventure World, and it was announced that Frozen themed land will be a part of this area. This means that only the U.S. parks do not have a Frozen land. I'm wondering if the new expansion area could be Frozen themed. Thoughts? And if you don't want to talk about this topic, I completely understand, as it has had lots of coverage already. Thanks as always, Cindy. She's in, and if I mispronounce this, I apologize, Mississauga, Ontario. Maybe you know that, Scott. It's up.
That's awesome. I don't know that, but I think you passed the test. Like, that sounded really natural and really good.
Did.
We'll go with it. So Cindy, let us know if I butchered it. But here's the thing, and I would doubt that it's Frozen themed, because I think they would have said something. And to me, aesthetically, I think it's got to be like a brownish, like a southwestern kind of, I don't know, like it's got to kind of be a continuation of like that frontier.
Right. I wrote down, it's got to be Wild West. That's what I wrote on my piece of paper.
I don't know how do I put it into words, but it's got to be that.
Brownish. There you go. Yeah.
Like rocks and like brown, and like Arizona-y looking, and Frozen's the polar opposite. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, you also have to think, the Frozen Land technically started in Norway at Epcot. That's where really all of this got its start. So we technically already have that land, even though it's not called Frozen or anything related to that. It's based off, obviously, Norway and the actual country of Norway. But that was really the start of all of this. So I don't think it will be anything Frozen related. I do think right now, as Mike said, it will be something with rocks. No, I think it'll probably be a little more themed to the Southwest, maybe in Kanto, or not in Kanto, maybe Coco, which was actually just on Freeform a couple of weeks ago, and I watched it again for the first time since I saw it in theaters. Forgot A, how great of a movie that is, and B, it definitely would be a pretty decent fit, I think, for what they're planning. Yes, it's not, America, but it's the North Americas. So, that part is good. And I think that would be a really good fit. And then, of course, there's obviously the rumored villain kind of themed land, which will be on the other side of that. And if you really think about that, that would pair well with Haunted Mansion in a weird way, because of the fact that Haunted Mansion is supernatural, kind of spooky, that kind of thing, and then that could veer into a villain type land. I think that would work out really well. So I think that's kind of, they've already kind of said where they're going with it. They just haven't really talked about what's going into the lands. So I think those are kind of the ideas of what's actually going to happen. But hey, never know. Disney could change their mind, and they may do something where they take, they've done something with Peter Pan. They've done something with Tangled. We've got the Tangled toilets right there. So, I mean, they could easily incorporate that too. Maybe, I wouldn't say they would expand Fantasyland, because they've already done that the opposite direction, but you never know, they could do that too, because they've already got that on the books as well. So I don't think it's going to be Frozen though. So I think we've already kind of got that with the Norway Pavilion.
It's super interesting though, because all these rumors are out there what it could be, and I don't think it's going to be like, this is just me speaking, just brainstorming blue sky kind of stuff, because I don't know, but I don't think it's going to be like an Encanto land. I think it could be like a land that has a theme that is geographically similar, because I've never seen the movie, but that has a theme that is soft, kind of in that environment, with an experience or two that lends itself to that. But because okay, but here's the thing: if you go all in and you nail it, Cars Land at DCA is amazing. Because you go right into the movie, right? So for fans of that, and I'm not the biggest Cars movie. I've seen Cars a few times, and I love the video game. I had it on my PlayStation 2 back in the day, and I loved like playing that little game. You just drive around Radiator Springs and like try to find like little oil cans or whatever, and you race, and stuff around. This was like, I remember I played this game like while we were waiting for Pam to like get a call to go get induced to have Mallory. That's how old it is. She's 16. So I'm just killing time on PlayStation 2. But the thing is, when I went into that land for the first time a couple years ago, honest to God, I felt like that's the most I've ever felt like I was in a movie in a three-dimensional sense. And they just nailed it. So could they do that again? Yes. But is Encanto on the level of Cars? I don't know.
Encanto is actually going to Animal Kingdom. So that's pretty much
whatever. Take MVP though.
I've heard the rumor. Coco. Yeah, Coco, yeah. I've heard the rumor of Cars as well.
I don't know if I'd like it though, because I'm not a fan of duplicating on the coast.
And I've also heard there may be some issues with that because of the fact that Florida has a lot of weather issues. Obviously, there are a lot of storms that happen.
Well, we already have Test Track. You don't need a Radiator Springs.
Yeah, there's that too. But I'm just saying that would cause that would hinder the ability to use that attraction all the time. Whereas if they did something Coco related or something different and unique and new, that they could keep enclosed, I feel like that would be a better idea overall for Florida. So we'll see.
I don't know. Get, real quick, give us a hit on this, Scott. What do you think? Like, what do you do with this? I mean, because this has to be a home run back.
Well, you guys have said everything basically.
Yeah,
so.
everything. I mean, literally everything on the map. Yeah.
But my note, I wish I would have timestamped this. I wrote Wild West, and then I wrote Mike's talking about the rocks. The best transition for your rocks is a Radiator Springs, Cars Land area, because that just transitions very well to that theme, I would say. But not to repeat anything, but I was going to say there's no way they would bring Radiator Springs here, and I don't want to see Radiator Springs here because I don't like the same attractions on both coasts. Mm-hmm. But they could still do something kind of Cars related, I think, or something because I think of Route 66, I think of Big Thunder Mountain. I feel like that could transition pretty well, I think. 100%. But I'm not paid the big bucks to make those decisions. What I would really love to see is just something unique, something that's not IP, something very original to the Magic Kingdom. I'm afraid we'll never see that again, but I'm crossing my fingers that there's hope that we'll see something new and original, because that would be fantastic.
I'm with you, Scott. I feel like we're never going to see anything original again, and they're just going to keep relying on IP now from here to eternity at this point. So, which makes me very sad, because when they're allowed to do something that's super creative, they just knock it out of the park.
But see, here's the deal. Thinking about this, okay, what we've all said here, they could bring Radiator Springs to the Magic Kingdom, but they don't necessarily have to bring Radiator Springs Racers. They could bring a new e-ticket attraction that they thought of that like blows us away, that doesn't have to be a clone of Test Track. It could be some new kind of, related attraction that kind of has its inspiration from something in the movies. There's tractor tipping. I guess that would kind of be like related to Tow Mater, that attraction. But like bring that environment, because that environment rocks. Modify it some. I mean, because again, like Scott said, the continuation of like that Rocky into Route 66, we're onto something here. It could be similar but different. Same kind, because it's so cool, and the transition would be great. But different, 3 totally different attractions, but you could still have your IP and you can still have cars.
And to Len's point here, it doesn't need to, you could have an e-ticket or a D-ticket, but you can put, not that I want more spinners or something, but you could put something kind of cool there, just a dark ride, just a classic dark ride, which is, if those that have been on Radiator Springs, it's got a combination of dark ride and thrill in there. But maybe you could just do the dark ride portion for a ride or something, and then have.
I would be perfectly fine with that. I think that would be great to do.
But I think with the rock work, because that's what I kept thinking when I heard Frozen. I'm like, I don't know how you transition New Orleans to the Big Thunder to Arendelle.
Blue. Yeah, it's it's so contrasting. Mm-hmm. And two, Len, says, you got to think of the older people, which trust me, I'm one of them too. But the good thing about Radiator Springs Racer as an e-ticket is it's an e-ticket that's pretty easy to go on, even as a person who's not it's not really necessarily like a thrill ride. Almost everybody can ride Radiator Springs Racers. Yes, it goes fast, but it's not going to flip you upside down. It doesn't make you dizzy. I think everybody can take on Radiator Springs. It's just fun. It's like riding in a car.
What if they just took that space and brought the old... What was the old stunt show at Hollywood Studios, but it was themed to cars?
No,
I didn't like that.
I loved that show. My in-laws,
Brian.
my in-laws, that was their absolute favorite thing they did at Walt Disney World was that show. That's all they talk about. That and the 2-bedroom at Old Key West.
That was from Disneyland Paris for everything brought over with Soarin' and all that.
I can't think of the Lights, Motor, Action. That's what it was.
Yeah. I did like
that's just so much space though to just
it's huge, ridiculous amount of space. Yeah,
I probably saw that show 10 times. We never missed it.
It was fun though.
We did watch it a lot. It was so hot watching that thing though in that stadium. That stadium was so hot. Okay, we gotta do the next question. And shout out to Mr. Jay Griffith, who's watching us on the Bright Line from Miami to Orlando. So
what up, Mr. Yay?
On the train. Gotta
I know Mr. Hotchberg takes that a lot. What if those two met up? That'd be kind of fun.
Ooh.
They're buddies. They're good friends, so they would know. Let's see. Lynn S. Is the free water park entrance on arrival day at Walt Disney World for all of 2025, or is limited offer looking on planning a trip for April of 2025? I believe it's for the whole year.
It's for the whole year.
You just get it. You just get to get those land with your trick is wear your swimming trunks on the plane.
It's true.
It scares me though that like 2025 is coming up. As a dad whose kid is graduating 2025, that year's been in my head for 17 years just about. And that's, oh my gosh, like just to hear that's coming up scares me. But
Vera Mike, when will Tiana soft open? Well, we're hearing media stuff early June, so I would say soft open into June, probably around the 4th of July.
Yeah, I would say so. I think we're probably going to have it late June, as maybe the annual pass holder previews, stuff like that, and then July for the actual official opening. Maybe.
I think I said the 4th of July, like
I think you did
months ago. You did. I'm the Swami of attraction openings, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
Beep.
I mean, I think it'll definitely be open by the middle of summer for sure. By the middle of July, I think.
Now that somebody called me and told me like a long time ago, like because we have an inside track. Do you think?
No.
Lucky guess.
Lucky guess.
Maybe probably lucky guess. I put 2 and 2 together. It's an all-American attraction. 4th of July. Come on.
I have an idea that it'll be it could be mid-June still, but
we need to. I'll be down there making them out the
should
lake.
be Juneteenth. That's when it should open.
Scott, you and I was thinking the exact same thing, and I swear I'm not lying. I was thinking Juneteenth.
No, it would be 4th of July. You gotta have fire, dude. Can you imagine the grand reopening with like fireworks over that mountain?
I absolutely agree with you. I really do think it would be Juneteenth.
I just hope the Disneyland band is like dressed up like in these cool costumes and just playing like some New Orleans jazz like around that area all day. It'd be so awesome.
100% the jazz. Yeah.
Yep.
Either way, we're gonna be within 2 weeks.
It's gonna be a fun celebration.
It will be.
Let's see. You got a listener question. It is from Rin, and it says, "Hey, Mike, Pam, Rikki, and Scott, love the show. Thanks for everything you do. There's a launch at Kennedy Space Center scheduled for 25th of June that coincides with my upcoming trip. Where would you go on Disney property to try and catch a glimpse? Also, I have a couple of would you rathers. Okay, well, let me answer the launch question first, because I have seen a few launches from Walt Disney World. My prime spot to watch a launch, if you can watch it really anywhere, because they're high up in the sky. They go into space.
This is true.
My favorite place to watch it, though, if you want to like go and make a deal of it, Polynesian Beach, and look over towards the Contemporary, because you got to look east. That's where I used to watch space shuttles. I'm old, but back when the space shuttle would launch, and if Jay's watching, he would know because he's Mr. Pilot and he knows all this. And we used to go to NASA tweet ups. That's how we are. When the space shuttle
I forgot about that. NASA
we watched it.
You guys did.
We went to watch Space Shuttle Atlantis on press row together.
You did.
FTS 132, baby. And we went to Houston to Mission Control. We sat in Mission Control with his mom, with Joanne. We sat in Mission Control together at a NASA tweet up. I drove all the way to Houston back in like a day. It was nuts. I didn't realize there's not interstates to Houston. That was ridiculous. Anyway, it was before I was scared to fly, when I was still scared to fly. Back to the question for Ren. Polynesian Beach, look over towards Contemporary. You'll see it up there. But like if you're in you don't have to like make a day of it. Like if you're in the Magic Kingdom, like I've been just walk around the Magic Kingdom before. Like I've been like over by Space Mountain, and I just, dude, there's a rocket. Like you just look up like over Space Mountain, like towards that way, like towards the Contemporary, and you'll see it in the sky. Scott, have you ever seen a rocket launch while you're there?
Only while driving to the airport. It's the only time I've seen one. I like what Melissa was saying. Melissa was thinking the same thing I was, like, and you just said it too. Like being in Tomorrowland is kind of cool because you got Space Mountain there. Like, I don't know, like if being near like Mission Space, if you can see it, but like I think that would just be kind of cool because you're near like Mission Space attraction, would be kind of a cool spot to watch it. But to your point, Mike, I think you can just kind of be like at a lot of different places and be able to see it. Just gotta have a clear look at the sky.
Yeah, I mean technically you can be anywhere in Florida because it's going to be up high, and you can just as long as you look east, it's going to be there. I mean, eventually. Rikki, have you seen rocket launches?
Actually, I've never seen a rocket launch.
How do you guys? I mean, they're in the sky. I bet you.
I've never been down there.
You probably. It's probably happened. You just didn't even like notice it.
I mean,
lately
that I know of. I've never been down there for one. So
lately, though, I bet you've seen it because SpaceX is launching these suckers all the time now.
Right,
they're all the time.
But yeah, we were just driving toward the airport, and we just kind of looked up, like, oh my god, I think we're following a launch right now. We're like on the same path. Yeah. Well, we weren't literally on the same path. I'll tell you that much. But.
And they're not as like spectacular anymore. Like the space shuttle, you knew, like because it had like 2 solid rockets, and it had the space shuttle main engines behind. I feel like I'm back at space camp because it had basically 5 engines firing for the first 2 minutes. So it had a big old smoke trail coming behind it. Now these rockets that SpaceX fires, they don't have as many engines, so you don't have the big contrail. Yeah. But I mean, you could tell if you're looking for it, you can go, oh, it's a rocket. But it's not as big as a space shuttle.
I know how Red has more questions, but they said June 25th. We were just talking about Tiana's. Like they're going to be like they're right in the spot dates we were just talking about. So maybe watch it from Tiana's. There you go.
You would be looking the wrong way because there's no way to be at Tiana's and be looking east.
Yeah.
If you're looking the other way, you're going to miss it because you'd be looking west. So you got to decide. I mean, you can flip around. That's why God gave you a neck.
All right. Would you rather's?
Exactly. Would you rather see Tiana's or see the rocket launch?
There you go.
We got, would you rather spend a day in the parks with Genie Plus or spend an evening at an after hours event? Ladies first. You get an after hours event or a day
after hours. Yeah. After hours. I think that would be hands down.
100% after hours for me, because there's nothing better than being, and I'm thinking like, I don't know why, I'm just like assuming this is like for Magic Kingdom. I'm going to say, because Genie Plus is really good for Magic Kingdom too, but I'm going after hours. I get all the treats too. Like I love being in the parks at night, lower crowd levels. It's just, the atmosphere is just amazing, especially if you're in the, if this is like a legit question for the June 25th dates, then I definitely want the after hours or the evening, because it's going to be cooler and more comfortable too.
Yeah, the same, because the after hours you can get a ton done in more comfortable weather and snacks.
The snacks, dude, those Mickey sandwiches, I tear those things up during that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm kind of already worried about the cruise, man. Because here's the thing, I've been watching all these cruise vlogs, and all they talk about is eating on those things. Like they'll give you like 5 minutes of like the excursion, and then it's 30 minutes of dinner. I'm like, oh man, stop.
I mean, that's what you do. That's why you cruise.
I know exactly, but I'm like, show me the ship. Like, how about we go down on deck 4? You've just eaten all, and I know I'm going to eat all this food. Like I've seen 17 soft serve cones up on deck 11. I'll be there. I get it. And I was telling Scott, I just watched a vlog for like 5 hours. They did 7 days of vlogging, and it was like 45 minutes per day. I watched this whole thing on the treadmill for like 2.5 days. They're in the stateroom that I'm going to be in. It was like weird. At the very end, they started talking about the stateroom. I looked at the number. I'm like, huh.
What if Jared and Stacy were in your stateroom too, and they like left you a little note? I mean, the stateroom host would find it, but
yeah, well, that'd be weird, but that'd be cool. And he has one more: Aloha Isle or Sunshine Tree Terrace?
Sunshine Tree Terrace for me. I'm a Citrus Swirl kind of guy.
You know what's weird? I don't really like either. I'm not a citrusy kind of person. I mean, I'll have a Dole Whip every once in a while because I feel like I have to, is like to keep my Disney fan card. But I'm an ice cream dude.
I say the Dole Whips for Disneyland, and I do the Citrus Swirl at Magic.
I do. I will have one because I think I'm getting away with something when I eat inside the tiki room.
Yeah, I know, right?
What about you, Rikki? What would you go
I am with you. I don't like either. So if I have to pick one, it's going to be the Dole Whip, but I'm not a fan. I would rather have ice cream too. So I don't. If I'm going to get it, I'm going to get the vanilla.
Yeah, and you could do that at both places too. Like that's kind of what we do sometimes as well.
They have vanilla ice cream?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah. So I didn't know this. I see now my third option, I go to Main Street USA and I get the All-American Sundae. I figure go big or go home.
That's what I would do too. Yeah.
No, go big or go home. You just book a Crystal Palace ADR and you do this.
Okay, there you go. Exactly. Let's get a Mickey churro. Let's get the not the Mickey. Yeah, the
Mickey churro with the vanilla ice cream was stacked to the ceiling.
Yes. The Mickey waffle churro thing. Oh my! They have those on the cruise at Cabana, by the way. Yes, rock on. Not that I'm just stalking all this stuff.
Yeah,
and
dude,
my
it's
wife,
worth it alone to buy the cruise fare just for that.
No, 100%. Yeah, Pam, she's getting excited because I think last night she told me, she's like, during this, and Pam, doesn't get super excited. Like she plays.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear what she's excited about.
She never talks about nothing till we're like driving to the port, and she's like, this cruise, I think I want to go to like that sweet shop and just get some sweets, even though they cost extra.
Is it the
really
side out one on the? I can't remember what the sweet shop is on the Fantasy.
I think it's vanilla. Is it sweet?
Yeah, I think it's vanilla.
I know Vanellope's for sure on the Dream, but I didn't know if it was the same.
It's called Sweet on You then.
Then that's it. Yeah. That's right. It's the Mickey and Minnie themed one. Yeah.
Oh, yep. Okay.
But it's got like the cake pops and the gelato and all that stuff.
Yeah, nice.
But then I'll be down getting my soft serve right after that too. All right, we got a question from Abby. Nope, sorry, it fake out with the header on the email. It's actually from Robin in London. It says, "Hey, Mike and crew, the free dining deal has just been released for UK guests. We've booked our 2025 trip to take our daughter for her first trip when she's going to be 4 years old. Do you have any recommendations for top uses for our quick service meals? When we last came in 2018, the Be Our Guest breakfast was a quick service credit, as was Geyser Point table service. These felt almost too good to be true and have now changed to table service credits. Wondered if there are any great uses for our credits that are still available. Thanks, Robin from London." So she's looking for best quick service credit uses for her family.
So I have like a theme park one and a non-theme park one.
Okay.
Take it.
Because like I hear quick service and I think of Primo Piatto. Like I just love that place. And I'm not sure where Robin is saying, but if you're anywhere on the Skyliner, it's very easy to get there. It's at the Riviera, or if you're at Disney's Hollywood Studios, taking the Skyliner over too is an easy option as well. I like, because I don't care for the counter service that much at the studio, so I think that's a good thing to do sometimes. And I like Connections for at Epcot. I think that's a great place for your counter service credits as well.
I like both of those, especially the Primo Piatto pick if you're on the Skyliner, because it's so fancy for a quick service, and the food quality there is unbelievable.
I just wish there was just a small period of time. I know all three of us had been there during this small window where they actually had the actual silverware and plates, and that was like the best. And then they kind of got away from that after the pandemic. I would love to see that come back, because like it just made it feel even nicer when you're in there, when you got like served like that. But it's still a top place for me to go to.
Yeah, the Riviera is just super fancy. It just smells fancy in that whole place. You walk in like, man, it's fancy. Rikki, what do you got?
I wouldn't say it's always fancy, but it is nice. I will say
Riviera is totally fancy to this dude. I don't know. It's fancy to me. I was like 24/7. I'm down here in a basement podcast studio like my whole life, so it's fancy.
Rikki, what about you? Do you have a resort one or a theme park one?
I think you picked two really good ones that are.
That's why. You guys talked about the Big Thunder behind the area for like 15 minutes. You were
like, I'm going for it.
So I jumped on this one this time.
One of my favorites though is always going to be Captain Cook's at the Polynesian. I absolutely adore their menu. Their nachos are just fantastic that they have there. Their pulled pork nachos are so good. I don't know if it's necessarily the best value on the dining plan, but I know it's delicious. So that's always going to be where my head goes. Because obviously for value, Be Our Guest and Geyser Point were ridiculously awesome options at that point. There's not really one in the theme park that I can think of that's. I think you had it right with Connections. I think that's a really, really good one. But
I think even in Epcot, like the Regal Eagle could be a good value.
Regal Eagle could be. Yeah, I think that's true. I'm trying to rack my brain.
She's British, though. They might still be bitter.
Understandable.
What about Polite Pig over at Disney Springs?
Yeah, that's quick service, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a steal of a deal, right?
I just don't know if like where the dining plan is accepted. If that's one of them
right. If
on
that's
the
one of the
list.
places
I
where
mean,
it's
if it is, that'd be a good deal.
Absolutely, yeah, that would be my. Then Mike, you stole the question because that would be my number one answer. Absolutely,
Yeah. I mean, not that I'm starving right now, and I wish I was that polite pig. But
me too.
What about even at Disney Springs? What about deluxe burger? I feel like that would be a good. If you got shakes, I feel like that would be a good option for sure. I mean, in the parks though, that's the thing. There's not really many restaurants that are going to be excellent values on the dining plan anymore. It's just Connections, like you said, is probably the best.
You will run to it at Animal Kingdom. I mean, I feel like going to Flame Tree if you like that, or Satuli Canteen. Like, I think those are really two good options as well.
Yeah.
Just don't. If you're at Magic Kingdom, just do the Rikki thing. Go to Gasparilla or go to Captain Cook's.
Go to Captain Cook's. Yeah, exactly. Don't eat at the Magic Kingdom.
Yep.
I really like Gasparilla. I
love Gasparilla.
I think it's kind of like the Grand Floridian is sneaky good on the food. I think people I think that people just forget about it, and because you got Grand Floridian Cafe, which I think people forget about for table service. Like if you're at the Magic Kingdom, man, you got to schedule an ADR there. Hop out of the park, over there, have a table service meal, go back. They get you just out of the park.
Maybe not if you're on the dining plan though. I feel like that's a good pay by yourself.
Either way, I mean, I'd use it on the dining plan. Maybe. I mean,
sometimes you just got to find value in like what you're enjoying too.
True.
Like, because I've been down that path where like I got to eat here because it's expensive, but and not go to a restaurant that I'd rather have. You know,
so
sometimes you
got to
weigh it
burger. If they still had the lobster burger, then that would be a fire option for.
Or the steak fries. They got rid of those steak fries too. That's why I don't bring it up as much anymore because they kind of broke my heart. But they came through with that salad. Remember that salad, Mike? That we had before the cruise. Oh man, that thing was so good.
The chicken's good there too. I mean, I enjoy it.
We're just segueing to Friday's episode, talking about all this. Food options.
We have our last question of the day, which is going to be kind of good transition to Friday's show, which it's from Brittany, and she says, "Hey, Mike, Rikki, Scott, and Pam. I'm a guest of Mike's, The Magic for Less, and she says that asked a few weeks ago about getting a reservation at Steakhouse 71, close to 11 a.m." So we could potentially order the Stackhouse burgers for my husband and I and the breakfast for our kids. Now I have another thought because I keep hearing great things about the breakfast at Crystal Palace, Garden Grill, and Cape May Cafe. We're staying at the Beach Club this July, and this could be our once-in-a-lifetime trip at this resort with park hoppers and the dining plan. My 3 kids are considered adults. So I'm thinking that we may want to take advantage of our close proximity options by eating mostly near our resorts and Epcot. To help me decide, I have a few questions to ask you all. 1, how would you rank the breakfast at Crystal Palace, Garden Grill, and Cape May Cafe? Okay, so that's question number 1. And she says, I'm wondering if I should reserve all 3 for breakfast, but maybe reserve one of them closer to lunchtime for brunch to have the best of both worlds, right? Or do you think that Steakhouse 71 is too good to miss and I should pick that as our brunch/lunch and choose 2 of the character breakfasts listed above? I'm not too excited about the lunch items at the character location, so that's why I'm looking at the breakfast options. What are your thoughts? Thank you, and I hope that y'all have a freaking magical week. Really and truly. She's got that in quotes. So Pam's not here.
I love the really and truly add on there.
I love it because Pam's not here this week, and she just channeled Pam Forrester, so she is a part of the show today because of Brittany. So thank you, Brittany, and thank you for your support of the show over the Magic for Less. I appreciate that so much. So let's kind of start it off. Overall breakfast experience: Crystal Palace, Garden Grill, Cape May Cafe. Rikki, ladies first. 1 to 3. Give Brittany your thoughts.
So the best to the worst for breakfast. I'm gonna go with Garden Grill first for breakfast. I might go Cape May second. I know we talked about though that Crystal Palace has the churro waffles though. So, but I still think I'm going to go with Cape May number 2, and I might go with Crystal Palace number 3, but it's a close 2 and 3. Like it's not far apart, but I think I'm still going to go with Garden Grill for number 1 as breakfast. I love the fact that you get fresh, hot food because they're bringing it to you because it's sort of family style. And that's going to win out. Plus they have just the best tater tots. I don't know what it is about the tater tots, for breakfast at Garden Grill, but they're so yummy. And the cinnamon roll bake type thing that they had there. I hope they still have that. I think they do.
I don't know if they do.
Why did they get rid of all the good things?
They call Scott. When something gets discontinued, they call Scott.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, Scott, hey, we're gonna discontinue this. All right, I'm gonna check to see if they have the bake anymore. Because if they don't,
we'll let Rikki research that, because that is a really important factor. I think
it
when
is.
it comes to Garden Girls.
She's a good Missouri girl because it's all based upon tater tots.
Yes, tater tots. Yes.
Go ahead, Scott.
I mean, Mike, you know my answer. It's the complete opposite of Rikki's.
Yeah, of course.
Garden Grill is number 3. Cape May 2, very solid, very good. But my number 1 is Crystal Palace. That's my favorite buffet breakfast at Walt Disney World, hands down. Nothing is close to Crystal Palace to me.
Yeah, I would go, man, Garden Grill and Crystal Palace are like 1 and 1A, but I go Crystal Palace because you can, like, you're right there in the Magic Kingdom. The experience, it's so pretty.
It's fun. I understand it's very cool at Garden Grill because, like, you're rotating, the characters come to you, it's family style, but I feel like it doesn't have that energy like Crystal Palace because, like,
true.
Like, I mean, I know, like, we don't like to see, you don't necessarily want kids running around, excitement and all that, but you see that at Crystal Palace and it just brings happiness to me. Where at Garden Grill, everyone is stationary, they're sitting, it's a very, like, slow moving meal where, like, I just, like, feel all the excitement when I'm in Crystal Palace. I don't know.
I have an update. They don't have the
I didn't think they did. That's why I don't go there anymore.
But they do have backyard grilled steak for breakfast.
There's a backyard at Garden Grill?
I guess there is.
Well, yeah, it's the barn.
It's the barn. Yeah, it's the barn. It's called backyard grilled steak with Farmer's Ranchero sauce. So
that cinnamon roll was everything.
Cinnamon roll was everything. I agree with you.
That's why I thought that was true, because that's why it's never on our radar anymore.
Okay, I think I've changed my mind then. I think I might pick Crystal Palace as 1 and move that to 3 then. Yeah. I think that's fair.
Yeah. And I honestly would do this is the classic Scotty G thing. I know our friend Mark in the Discord just did the same thing a couple days ago. Like, when you're at Crystal Palace, I love to turn it into brunch. I love that, like, 10 a.m., 10:15 a.m., where you go to the Magic Kingdom, you do some this is a classic Mike move too, right? You rope drop.
I never book the early one. I'll have like a Rice Krispie treat out the door early, rope drop the park, like you said.
Yep. And you hit a bunch of your favorite attractions. Like, you definitely done like 3 or 4 things, maybe 5 or 6 things. You're having a great day. Like, hey, let's take a breather and let's have breakfast or brunch. You do that 10:15 a.m. You get your pancakes, your omelet, your waffles, and all that. You get your big ice cream, like I like to do, and then they start closing off half the restaurant to, like, transition to lunch. And then you got the carving station out if you want that. It's just the ultimate, like, buffet meal, if you ask me. I would choose that over Steakhouse 71, to be honest, because you got the young ones. I think they'll have fun with the Winnie the Pooh characters. That would be my number 1 choice.
Yeah, you're gonna get the pictures, and the thing is too, like, when we've done that, I mean, honest to God, we haven't even been hardly hungry even at dinner time. Like, I mean, we don't even get hungry again till like 6. And I mean, we usually eat early, and then sometimes we'll just have counter service that night because we're still kind of like, we could just go to, if we're in the Magic Kingdom area, we could just go over to, if we're in the Magic Kingdom, go to Pecos Bill's and just have tacos or nachos or something and snack at the Magic Kingdom that night. And because what it does, I mean, she's on the dining plan, but if you're not, it offsets the cost of that Crystal Palace breakfast. Because, I mean, it is expensive, right? But then it balances out the overall cost of the day, I think, is what you kind of do too there. Because you're not having lunch. You're having one big meal.
Right.
It's breakfast and lunch combined.
I know. And I think it was her husband that wanted the burger. And maybe you make that work out somehow. Maybe you, like, pop over there and, like, you get the burger somehow. Like, maybe he just goes in, sits at the bar and orders it. I don't know. But like, I want everyone to be happy here. So I hope that the Stackhouse burger can happen at some point too.
That's right. All right. Well, that is going to do it for today's show. We are going to be back on Friday talking all about Walt Disney World restaurants. So come hungry and leave happy on Friday's show. But thanks for joining us for today's show. We are always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney vacation. All you need to do is visit the website over at themagicforless.com. Mention the Be Our Guest podcast. We'll be working together on that trip and having a great time doing it. Best part, no cost to you. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. BeOurGuestPodcast.com/Amazon. And a sincere thank you to our Patreon supporters. You guys make all this possible. We couldn't do this without you. And our Patreon supporters get a bonus show every week. This week we talked about Grandpa's Garage and all the fun we used to have out there. It was his man cave before man caves were man caves, but he tinkered and it was amazing. You got to check out the show. It was awesome. I bet you everybody had a place like this with their grandparents, grandma, grandpa, uncle, aunt. Everybody kind of had that little the hideaway. And I grew up there with my grandpa. So we talked about all those stories. Check it out. It's called Mike in the Midwest. Come over. It's just $5 a month. You can support the show. It all goes to the video hosting and all this stuff. It really helps us out. So again, patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. We have our live call-in show. Scott and I host that on Sunday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Now, this Sunday night, it's a holiday, but we're doing a show. So bring your margarita because it's Cinco de Mayo. So we are going to have a good time. So you too, come with us. We're going to have a blast and take your call 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, all the places. Give us a call. And it's BOGP Open Line Sunday night. We'll be waiting for your call. Join us in the clubhouse as well. We have fun there 24/7. The conversation never stops. You probably just heard a little beep. That's because I forgot to close the tab. Somebody just posted in the clubhouse right then. Let me close that. And you can get in on the conversation over there as well. It's just beourguestpodcast.com/Discord. Come on over to the Discord channel. We're having fun there all the time. All right. Give us a follow on social media. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs. Scott's at Ep Scott. He's working on those mugs. That video's coming out soon. I promise you. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. Would love a follow. We're all on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. Give us a follow. And we'll be back again on Friday. So until then, you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
I had this line that I took out of the vlog, Mike, because I said the word mug 3 times in 10 seconds.
Mug.
Like if you turn this into a drinking game, you will die. But I was like, I gotta take that out. But
so I was watching this, and I mean, you notice this when you're walking on a treadmill for an hour because you're getting mad, right? Because you're tired, you just you're studying it because you have nowhere, you're a hostage to the treadmill.
For sure,
right?
for sure.
This dude said amazing so many times, in this one video, this one day of his. He was talking about his food.
Yeah,
I'm I know he's gonna say amazing again. Amazing. Yeah. The appetizer, amazing.
I love it. I try not to. Amazing is a word I try not to use because when I say it, I want it to be have value. That was amazing. And if someone knows me that heard that, oh, Scott must really like that. You know what I mean? But I think I don't know if we have any UK. I mean, it's pretty late there, so they're probably not in the chat right now. But we've been watching these guys from Wales. And they said the word brilliant all the time. And I think
people say it sounds so cool.
I know. It's the way they roll, it's brilliant.
I know, it's so cool. When Simon did that show, everybody was so happy, and everybody keeps emailing me. I'm it's not fair. He has a cool accent.
I know. I can't. If I say something brilliant, it's not going to catch everyone's attention.
I know, for real.
Yeah. But I want to use that word. I want to be able
brilliant.
Yeah.
What cheers. I can't say cheers.
I know. But I did say something to Simon. I tried to use some language there. I was that was a great episode, mate.
Yeah, mate. Exactly. I can't. I try, but it's dude, don't even try. You're from Missouri.
I'm gonna try. That ship, that sailing we're gonna be on, because it's out of Southampton. I was reading on Hotchberg's blog, is normally 80% British people. That's gonna be. You're
gonna come back speaking all different.
I know, but it's over 4th of July too. So I gotta be
be cool. Walking the flank. Yeah, don't be wearing stars and stripes. Dude.
I know, that's why I told the girls we are not wearing any. I'm not wearing my American gooders.
They'll be toss that cat overboard. I know what we're doing for the 4th of July. We're tossing him over the side.
They're gonna have this plan already.
It's gonna be hilarious. Make sure you blog that.
Yeah, we'll take a video of that. I'll make sure.
Dude, you'll be instantly popular.
Maybe we should just make that happen. We'll script it. Yeah,
that would be hilarious. Let's see if that cat.
Brilliant. I want to use the word brilliant, but I can't. It's not cool enough.
See if that guy can swim with the sharks.
Brilliant. That's a brilliant idea.
We're gonna make this guy brilliantly swim with the shark. All right, let's make this up as we go. Rikki, you good? 2482. Is the dog barking?
2482. I always try to find something with your numbers of these episodes. Epcot is 82.
Yep, it is. All right,
two doubled is 4, then 4 times. No, never mind.
I got nothing. Just at this point. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2482 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rahman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're getting ready for a great weekend. I know a lot of people are probably celebrating one of the great holidays around the world tonight, which is the 3rd of May, and getting ready for Cinco de Mayo on Sunday because it's a weird night to have Cinco. So maybe you're celebrating that tonight. And of course, tomorrow, May the 4th be with you. We're getting ready for that. So, just wishing you that. So have your lightsaber ready to go in case any Sith pops out at you right now as you're listening to the show. We're having a good time. We're not talking Star Wars today. We're talking Disney dining. That's kind of more our bailiwick. Look at that. Scott, I try to use a British word. I don't know if it's British, but I try to use a fancy word. We're just talking about that in the pre-show.
It was brilliant, Mike. It was brilliant.
Oh, perfect. There we go. We have a lot of British the international folks over in our Be Our Guest Podcast Clubhouse, and we're talking about how their accents are way cooler than ours, and we're trying to be cool like them. So.
I know we haven't done the introductions, but if one of you wants to reach out to me privately and give me some tips on how to say the word brilliant, so brilliantly, so lovely, I would love to know.
Scott's going to be on a cruise ship with 80% British folks.
For 2 weeks, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So he's trying to be cool, like British folks. So everybody that could help him out, please do it. I said I'm hopeless because I'm dead landlocked in Missouri. Anyway, we have Rikki, and we're going to be talking food. We're going to have a good time. Rikki's down in Atlanta, Georgia. She's from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com and the MouseForLess.com. Cheers, Rikki. What's up?
Cheers.
Thanks for putting up with us this week. I know it's been rough.
Yeah, that's definitely the biggest thing. Thanks for putting up with you guys. Yeah, so 2 big holidays, this weekend. You got May the 4th and Cinco de Mayo, or Revenge of the 5th, whichever route you want to go.
It'll be Revenge of the 6th after Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, it's Revenge of the yeah. I don't know. I was going for it. Isn't there one with the 5th? Maybe? Yeah, it is Revenge of the 5th.
You were right. Mike was
okay, thank gosh. I was like, I thought I had it right. Dang it. Okay, good.
Because you're going to be so hungover on Sunday.
Yeah, it's definitely Revenge of the 6th. Yeah, but that's a whole different holiday.
Tequila you have on Sunday.
It does. So I'm sure that some sort of Mexican food will be inhaled by me on Sunday. And no Star Wars watching will be happened by me on either day. So, that's kind of how this weekend's going to go.
So the biggest debate over in our clubhouse and one of the channels, I think it's in the TV/movies channel, is this whole thing about a machete order, which I didn't even know there was a thing called the machete.
Yeah. Yes.
It's some order that people swear by. Marlesa's in there swearing by. There's John is, where I think, and I've been trying to follow it, where you watch the Star Wars movies like in the order that Anakin is alive or something like that, or when we find out, it's not even a spoiler anymore, right? That like, that the whole Darth Vader and Luke and father thing, like that's how you go about watching the movies. You don't watch them in chronological or like release order. I was like, oh my gosh, like I just watch them from like 1 to 9. Actually, I watch them 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. Let's do that since this is kind of topical for the weekend. I watch them 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. So that would be theatrical release order, I guess.
Yes. So the only way I know what the machete order is because of the Big Bang Theory. They actually mentioned it on an episode.
Oh, is that where that's from? I was like,
no, I know it's
a real thing.
It's a real thing, but it was mentioned on the Big Bang Theory as a way of watching the. I think you skip episode 1.
Yeah, they did.
You actually cut episode 1 all the way out.
Yes,
they've been talking about that over there.
I like to mix them up too, so I like to watch 4. I mean, I don't mind one because
I don't
like Darth
either.
Maul is like one of the coolest characters.
Exactly.
I think.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
So I will watch one, but I like a 4, 1, 2, then maybe like 5. I like to watch 3 before 6. Like I like to watch. What is the number? I can't even think of the episode 3's name right now.
Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I like to watch that before Return of the Jedi. I don't know why, but I do. But it doesn't matter. It's Star Wars. Like, just watch them, man. They're awesome.
True.
They are awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
Hey, I didn't do my intro. I'm Scotty G.
He's up in Michigan. He's hanging out. He's going to be British here by the end of summer. What's up, Scott?
Mike, I wrote something down. So is it technically Treso Di Maio today? Then the way you're kicking off that intro.
Well, I mean, I took 5 years of Spanish. It's Tres de Mayo. Yes.
Tres de Mayo. Okay, thank you. Like I know if Emily listens to me, who's like a AP Spanish student, she would just be very upset at me that I butchered that. But happy to be here on Friday. I love Fridays. It's it's just a good time hanging out with two of my favorite people. So what's the topic today, Mike?
So again, you need to be over in the Clubhouse, which is our Discord channel, brguspodcast.com/Discord. If you're not, where you been, get over there, because this is something we were talking about last week. And it just popped up. Like we were just having conversations and we just got talking about ADRs. And so I put a poll in there because the conversation led to, and I was like, all of a sudden I just got curious while I was eating my baked Lays and eating my turkey sandwich at lunch one day. And I was like, I wonder what really drives people to make the ADRs they make. Do they look for, and I was thinking of Scott and I was thinking of me, because, you know, the two people I know the most, because I know we're different on this. When you make an ADR, are you looking for the environment of the restaurant, like the overall atmosphere, or are you looking for the actual food, like food quality when you make an ADR? Like what drives you most to make that ADR or visit that restaurant? So I'm kind of going back to my teaching days, right? Okay, so this is Mr. Rahman's math class. And we're going to talk a little greater than, less than, and equal to. This was one of the lessons I taught when I taught second grade. Because I did teach second grade for a couple of years. Yes, I was very tall in that classroom compared to my students. And it was awesome.
One of their desks, right? Because how could you ever get up?
Well, so do you want to know one of my funny stories from when I was a student teacher in second grade? This was when I think it was my first week of student teaching in second grade. God, I couldn't believe it. And thank God I lived close to the school that I taught at. I bent down in my Dockers to help a second grader. Dude, totally squatted down. Because, you like the thing is a teacher, get on eye level with the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Help them. Rip the crotch right out of my pants. So I had to tell my cooperating teacher, Mrs. Jasper, can I run home for a little bit and get a different pair of Dockers? She's like, yeah, that's a good idea.
That would be probably a pretty good idea. Yeah.
You can just hear it. Yeah, so that happened. So yeah, I learned to be careful with that. The rest of it's practical stuff you learn in student teaching for real. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. So we're talking greater than, less than, or equal to. So some restaurants obviously are very much going to lean one way or the other. But I think there are some restaurants that are going to have the balance, right? They're going to be equal to. So we're going to throw out restaurants, all of us, and kind of have the conversation as to, which ones are very imbalanced one way or the other. But I mean, I think it's also a matter of opinion too, sometimes. But I think some of these are going to be kind of universally known. All right, Rikki. So I'm gonna let Rikki wasn't, because we kind of started this, but let's let Rikki throw out a restaurant, and then we'll go around the horn here and see what we got here. What we got, Rikki? Give us a restaurant.
All right. Well, I mean, I feel like we kind of started with this one last episode, so let's go with it. Let's go with Garden Grill, because we were discussing that restaurant earlier, and I feel like this one could go either way for some people. So I'm kind of curious as to your guys' thoughts on the Garden Grill. So Scott's already laughing, so I feel like I'm gonna go with Scott first.
I just love the way you said some people, because yeah. I feel like you were
that was geared toward you. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's possible. So Scott, what do you think?
We talked about this on Wednesday, and we talked about the sad news. I mean, it's not news, but Rikki, it was kind of news to you at that time.
It was news to me, yes.
that the amazing cinnamon roll deliciousness, ooey gooiness, whatever you want to call that, has been removed from breakfast.
It has.
And to me, that really takes the quality down. That was like my favorite thing there. But the atmosphere is fantastic. I mean, I just love Mike, you know, there's Rikki, you're the same way. Like Living with the Land is like an OG Epcot attraction. It's like one of my favorite attractions to do. And during the course of your meal, you get to kind of live through that. Use that word intentionally. And it's just cool. You got the characters and all that. I'm specifically thinking about breakfast right now. And yeah, it's just it's an awesome atmosphere. So if I'm looking for cool atmosphere, I'm booking that, but not for quality. I'm not booking that.
So Scott, kind of we're going to go with these. Scott saying on this one, atmosphere is greater than food quality. On this
sorry, I didn't use I didn't follow the instructions
because some people like to keep score with these kind of shows.
Yeah. So I'm saying atmosphere greater than food quality. Exactly.
Okay.
So for me, I'm going equal to, because I love the food quality at this place. For me, this is my kind of food though, because it's more home style. It's more of the, just in breakfast and dinner, it's more just the basic meats, the starches, this is my kind of menu. It's almost like your fancy Cracker Barrel type food. It's nothing special, but it's my kind of food. You got characters, you have a gimmick, you got the rotating restaurant. You're very much in an old feel Epcot experience. Yeah, definitely. This one's an equal to for me. So Rikki, what about you?
I tend to agree with you, Mike. I'm going to say equal to. I agree with Scott. The breakfast now, that does not knock it down a peg, not going to lie. It's just a little bit. But I feel like dinner is definitely a quality option here. If I'm going to dine here now, I feel like it's definitely going to be for dinner, because they do have kind of that home style type food. You got turkey, you got steak, you got mashed potatoes, you got green beans, you got that mac and cheese. Now it usually has the goldfish crackers crumbled on top, which is really delicious.
Oh man!
Oh my gosh, that game changer on a way to make mac and cheese. Put goldfish crackers on top. Yes. Okay, so that's going to be key. You do have the atmosphere of Living with the Land that you're going around. You also have the characters. You've got solid characters, and the fact that it's Mickey and Pluto and Chip and Dale. So I do feel like this is going to be an equal to. The food is equal to the atmosphere on this one for me.
All right. So we have, okay, that's good. This is kind of what we're going to do, because it gives us a chance to explore the restaurants and see what we see. So when we pick these restaurants, let's try to give something that's going to, lend itself to, being kind of a tough call. So Scott, give us a restaurant.
All right. I don't know if Rikki has been here. Since based on your last two answers, I'm switching my restaurant because I think we're going to have the same answers if I would have gone with my original one. So sorry, Rikki, if you haven't been here, I know Mike has. I'm going to go with Jiko at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, Jumbo House. And Mike, I'll start with you. Well, what do you think about Jiko?
So I'll be honest, I've only been to Jiko one time, and thank God it was on Pam's bill. We had an awards dinner for some of the agents at the Magic for Less, and I was invited to the awards deal. So I was like, yes, I can order whatever I want, and it's the agency's picking it up, so it's good. I got the steak and the mac and cheese and all that, and got a dessert and everything. That one, I would say, food quality is greater than experience, but hold off though, because it is also. It's hard to say that in a way, because the experience is more of an elegant, like very fine dining. There's a difference between like the character meal experience and the rotating restaurant experience. Like that's entertainment, where it's a different kind of entertainment to kind of go to a fancy restaurant, get a little a little dressed up, and have a fancy dining experience. But for me, I was more excited about the fancy food I was having at Jiko. So slightly, I'm going to give it a nod to greater than to the food quality over the overall experience. But man, there's also a lot of an experience at Jiko. So I'm going to go with that.
For sure.
I have not dined at Jiko. Done every other restaurant at Animal Kingdom Lodge. Just Jiko is one of those that we haven't done. Because we like the other one so much. It's hard to, when you're only down there for a limited amount of time. You're like, ooh, I really want to go to Sanaa, or I really want to go to Boma, or, you know, whatever. So it's really hard to go, yeah, let's go to Jiko, even though I've heard nothing but spectacular things about their menu. So I can't per se answer it, but I will say that the thing that makes me want to go there is the menu. So I think for that purpose, I think the food would outweigh the like atmosphere of why I would go there. So I can answer it in that regard, even though I haven't actually dined at this restaurant, but it is on the list. It's just I haven't been able to pull the trigger because Brian and I like the other restaurants just so much. Matter of fact, we just ate at Sanaa just a couple of weeks ago. So, you know, and had just a spectacularly delicious meal there. So nice. It's so hard to branch off of the ones that we love so much.
Makes sense.
Yeah. We're definitely going to have to get you there. So
I know.
So this is why I want to bring up this question, because I thought it was interesting, because Jiko is the signature restaurant at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and the food quality is superior. Like you really are booking that for that. But to your point, Mike, you were talking about it's a different kind of atmosphere, right? You know, like, and it's a signature restaurant. All the Disney signature restaurants have this amazing atmosphere that's different than like a Garden Grill. Like, I love the way you worded that earlier, Mike. But what I find so unique about this, it's actually my least favorite atmosphere of all the Animal Kingdom Lodge restaurants. Like, and it's funny because it's their signature. Like, I think Boma, like the way, like like if you ever done the Boma tour at the lodge, like they talk
I've
about
done the tour of both of those because it was together.
That's right.
Boma and Jiko.
That's right. You go to both. Yeah. And like, I love the way they talk about like some of the way that the tables are. Like, one table is like in the shape of Africa, and like the king's family sits here. So the first family of the day, like just the whole history of the Boma, I think it brings to that atmosphere. And then Sanaa, I think it has the best atmosphere because you can see the safari, well, especially at lunchtime while you're having that. And I've always found that interesting that the best restaurant, like food quality wise, has the worst atmosphere. And I'm not saying that it's bad, but it's just kind of interesting when you go to these resorts that have multiple options, or even like, I've just always found that interesting for that resort to like have it set up that way. I would think Jiko would be in Sanaa, honestly, for the signature quality. But yeah, I'm going to go greater than. I'm going to say food quality is greater than atmosphere, but it's close. I mean, it's good, but it's just not as good as the rest of the resort, which I find interesting.
They probably do that though, because the food is going to bring you into Jiko. So they probably figure they don't need to have anything, you know what I'm saying? Like the people who are looking for the very fine dining in a signature location, that's enough. Yeah. Right. They're probably saying like they don't need a gimmick to get you in there because the food's so good. Maybe. I mean,
oh my gosh, like just talking about these three restaurants, you just think like, man, like how great is the
food
at
right?
Animal Kingdom Lodge?
Exactly. So good at Animal Kingdom Lodge. It makes you really want to take a trip over there, even though it's so incredibly difficult to get to. It's just the food is top notch at Animal Kingdom.
And I like the Mara too. I mean,
yeah, I was going to say the Mara has great options too. So yeah, I may or may not have enjoyed zebra domes, like an entire tray of zebra domes for breakfast one morning, because I was like, why not? This is a delicious breakfast. So,
and it's vacation, right?
Exactly, because you can get them at the gift shop a lot of times, you know. So that's another thing to kind of know is they do sell them on the opposite, on the other end of the spectrum. You don't have to just dine at Boma to get the fancy zebra domes that are quite delicious. So,
all right, Mike, put us to the test.
Yeah, let's go.
A good one. I've been sitting on this one. I think I have a good one. Whispering Canyon over at Wilderness Lodge.
Okay.
So what do you think about this one? I think this, again, I'm curious what you think. So let's, Rikki, what do you think about this one? Where are you going to put the equation? Where are we balancing this one out?
This one is tough for me. But I really think, while I enjoy the atmosphere a lot at Whispering Canyon, I mean, I have so much fun there. I've had so many great meals with the cast members have just been top notch, because that's really kind of the biggest part of it is if you have a good cast member, it makes the experience so much better at Whispering Canyon. But if you have one that's sort of just okay, mediocre a little bit, you have a good experience, but it's not as fun as, you know, as it could be. Honestly, I tend to go there more for the food, I think, than the actual atmosphere of that restaurant. So I'm going to say food is greater than the atmosphere. We usually go there for breakfast a lot of times because again, it's a all you care to eat skillet. Well, you can get a la carte there, but usually,
do most people get the skillet? Do you think? I mean,
I feel like most people get the skillet. Yeah.
I think it's got to be 95% people.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Maybe I was wondering. Maybe I'm the weird one, but
it could be, and it mostly could be due to like an allergy reason why too.
Possibly, but they do have three. You know, they have like for dinner. I know they have skillet options that are. I think there's one that's plant-based for sure, and then there's I think there's one that's
so then you should still be getting the skillet. I feel like
I feel like that's the case too. But we usually go there for breakfast, and that's I think the key time to go and get a skillet at Whispering Canyon because you get all the breakfast options. You get sausage, eggs, bacon, potatoes, and of course Mickey waffles, and I think you get biscuits too. Those like cheesy kind of biscuits. So. I really enjoy the breakfast there a lot. And we've enjoyed the dinner there a lot too. So I'm not going to say that I haven't. But you definitely have to have a good cast member. And that's kind of an iffy thing. So I tend to go there for the food. And the atmosphere is kind of a bonus for me.
See, I'm just jumping in real quick. I think atmosphere, though, is just also visiting the lodge itself to make myself go see the lodge.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and see the lobby and see at Christmas time, the Christmas tree and the fireplace and see the geyser, just get myself to the lodge. So I'm including that as part because when you're at Whispering Canyon, you're seeing the lobby because it's like overlooking that. And I always have had a good cast member. Maybe I've been lucky, and I always I've been there for breakfast and dinner. I get kind of equal. But Scott, go ahead. What you got?
Mike, that's why you and I are the same person sometimes, I swear. Because I was going to say the same thing. Like part of that experience is just because I love where it's located, like off the lobby. So I don't know how like normal guests like that are just hanging out in the lobby feel about it, like because like you hear the hooting and hollering going on there, but like I love that. I just think it's so cool that you can see the lobby, or especially around Christmas time, you can see the tree and all that. I just think that's super neat. I haven't been there in a very long time. Mike, this is a place where you and I have never been, which I think would be fun for our families to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I was just thinking about the times we've been, and I think it's only been the three of us. So I feel like I feel like I would even enjoy the atmosphere more in a bigger group setting for
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
But just thinking about our family of three, like we still enjoyed the setting. I think it's a lot of fun. The food is good. Like I like the food. I like it better for dinner. I would say I've done both. It's just give me all the meat, right?
So yeah, I have a story when it gets around to me, but yeah, this is a heavy meat meal at dinner.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, just give me all the meat, and most importantly, if you know me, give me all that ketchup, baby. I love some ketchup. And it's just a lot of fun, but I'm still gonna go. Atmosphere is greater than food quality because it's just. It's a good meal, but if I'm ever gonna book Whispering Canyon, like if I'm doing my ADRs, I'm booking it because I don't want to eat there. I'm booking it because of the food quality. I'm booking it because I want to have a good time and hang out and just have a hoot and hollering time.
Okay. I agree. That's good. So I'm going equal on this one too because I love because they have the horse rides sometimes. Kids, not that I'm going to get on one of those stick horses. But
I have.
I have back in the day. I mean, I think,
Mike, if we ate there together, I feel like
you guys definitely would get on a horse.
Well, I mean, if it was Cinco de Mayo, I'd be riding horses in a heartbeat. So I'm just saying. But no, I would. But, it's the ketchup thing, it is fun, right? But dude, I picked this because I love this kind of food. This is my jam. Breakfast or dinner, I don't care. It's got all the meats. It's got the potatoes and the eggs. And food could not be more Mike Rallman. But I love the atmosphere. I love the lodge. I love the cast member interactions. This one's equal. This is my jam. It's got both. So moving on, Rikki, what do you got?
I have a really interesting one, and it's based off of a very recent dining experience that I had. I'm actually going to go with Space 220. So, years ago, the biggest question we got asked is when is Space 220 going to open? Everybody was talking so much about this restaurant.
The 4th of July.
Yeah, the 4th of July. Exactly. When is it going to open? So, it's definitely, it's been a few years now. I feel like it's had its opportunity to get settled in a way of what kind of they want to offer. So I'm gonna put this to Mike first. What do you think about Space 220 in this regard?
This is the easiest one of all, I think. I think everybody goes there for the experience and not for the food. I never hear anybody walk out of this place and talk about what they ate. I hear them talk about the space elevator. I hear them talk about looking out into space in the windows. I think you go there one time to see what it's like. It's Space 220 is an experience. I don't necessarily know that it's a dining.
It's not a dining experience. It's just an experience.
It's an experience. Yeah. I mean, I don't know really. I mean, the food was fine. I've been there 2 or 3 times because I've been there with people that have gone. We went with the agency and stuff. We went
together, yeah.
And I mean, it's fine, but I can't remember what I ate. But I do remember it was pretty sweet going in there. It was fun. Like it was cool. But I don't need to go back. Like I've been there, done that, and I'm moving on. Like it's fine. And I'm a space nut. I mean, we talked about that on Wednesday. So definitely this one's experience over food. So
all right, Scott.
Experience over food, 100% all the way. I mean, just the whole pre-show thing, the atmosphere. I just love all that. The food completely misses for me, and for like the value I get too, kind of misses. But if we're specifically talking the food quality, it's a miss for me. I do like the cauliflower though, like that buffalo cauliflower. I think is really great. I would love for that to be like a food and wine like kiosk. Actually, that would be kind of sweet if they. I mean, I know Le Cellier kind of does that. Like they bring some of the restaurant stuff. Like
idea. Every
That's not a bad idea.
Could you imagine if they like just did a festival like here's the cauliflower from Space 220, or here's that would be great. The French fries from the fish and chip stand or something. Like I think I just thought of that, and I think that would be a fantastic thing to do because I love that cauliflower.
Celebration of Epcot. Yes.
I love that cauliflower so much, but I'm not going to pay all that to go to Space 220 just for it. So
no, I get it.
Its atmosphere over is much I would say is much greater than the food quality.
Yeah, that one, if because we had this balance right when I used to teach, like that one's just like wonk.
Exactly. It's like me standing on one end and you on the other. I'm gonna flip
whatever. It's just like that was. I know totally. Rikki, what do you think?
As someone that just was there recently, I'm curious.
Up until the last time I ate there, I would have said that the food was equal to the experience. I had excellent meals there before. I thought they were both really, really good because I ate there twice before this last time. And of course, the experience is just ridiculously incredible. I mean, there's just nothing like it. But I will say, having just dined there, they've definitely kind of ruined that menu by a lot. The appetizers are great. I think that's where they shine. Which is sad because they're appetizers. That's and really one of them is a ball of cheese. So I mean, like that's not like
that sounds good to me.
It's delicious. Don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. But it's just
bad.
No, it was great. The ball of cheese is great. But when that's one of the best things that you're eating there, that's not necessarily a great thing about dining at the restaurant. Brian and I went for lunch. So at lunch, they only offer you the appetizer and the entree. It's a little bit cheaper, but you get both. You can add on the dessert if you wanted to. But when we were looking at the desserts, I was like, there's really nothing on the dessert menu that sounds good anyway. So I'm not going to get that. I'm not losing anything. I'd rather go grab something in Epcot later, or whatever. So I feel like
maybe the Liege waffle at Connections.
Exactly. I feel like and they used to have really great desserts at Space 220. So again, I feel like that's a miss. And we got the steak and fries. I'm sorry, if I'm paying that much money for steak, I want mashed potatoes. I want some sort of vegetable. They came with green beans, but I mean, I don't want French fries. Like
You're paying for the experience.
I get that, but I'm paying a lot of money for my meal too. You know what I'm saying? So I if I'm buying a steak, I want something a little more upscale, if that makes sense.
No, I get it.
Even if they wanted to make it like spacey, like make purple mashed potatoes, or something kind of different,
Dehydrated potatoes. You got to put
dehydrated potatoes.
You don't want that. We gave that stuff out at Space Camp.
Yeah, don't do that. Okay, all right. But I'm just saying, like, they could do so much more there, and I feel like they've definitely missed the mark. So
what I'm hearing here is that they just don't have to, because you never can find a reservation.
I agree with that. So. I got a reservation day of, which was a surprise. But you're right, Scott. I feel like they're skating on the fact right now that they are Space 220 and everybody's trying to get in there for the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, don't. I think Mike's right. It's a one and done now. Brian and I had because he had never been. So that's why I wanted to bring him. And we've both had the conversation of we're definitely done with Space 220. They have to upgrade their menu by a lot for us to go back, I think. So, yeah. It was a miss.
All right. All right. Yeah, I got, we've been in the theme parks, we've been in the resorts. We got to go to Disney Springs. We're going to go to the legendary boathouse.
Ooh.
Mike, tell me what you think. You're on the water there at Disney Springs. You got a menu there. There's a menu, right? I mean, it's a restaurant. What are you going with what are you thinking about when you book Boathouse?
See, Boathouse for me, that one's definitely food over atmosphere, over experience, even though it is pretty. And I have sat out on the water, which is nice. But if I'm going there, like I always get those filet sliders, and God, those things just like melt in your mouth. And they have a good salad there. But when I think of Boathouse, I'm thinking, man, the food is stinking good there. Like I'm always thinking food, and it tastes good. I'm never thinking about like I'm going there to have like an experience. I'm just thinking about, man, those filet sliders are rocking. And I like the food a ton. So yeah, definitely that one weighs heavily towards food over experience, even though it's a nice experience. I mean, it's a signature, but it's food over experience for me.
Okay. Interesting.
I actually agree with Mike. I think food over experience at Boathouse for sure. Their food is top notch at Boathouse. Again, you mentioned the sliders, which are seriously one of my favorite things on the menu.
You gotta stop doing these shows.
I know it's terrible to do them all at dinner time, man. But you talk about good steak at Boathouse versus the mediocre steak that I had at at Space 220, and so it's like, well, yeah, I'd rather go have the really good steak now at Boathouse. Even though they're in slider form, they're still delicious. So, and I think, but theirs comes with fries too. But at least I feel like I'm
those fries that have that. What's that stuff that's sprinkled on top of them? That
Parmesan cheese and the truffle.
No, it's got a name, truffle fries.
Yeah, dude. If Space 220 had given me truffle fries, it would have been a totally different experience. Yes.
I don't know what truffle means. It just means it tastes good.
It means delicious. But no, they gave me regular French fries. So I'm gonna go hands down food over atmosphere at Boathouse.
So you both are food over atmosphere. Yeah. That's interesting. Well, you probably are assuming I'm not going to say that as my answer. but and you two are absolutely right. The food quality is unbelievable there, and it has such a wide range of menus, which I love too. Like you called it like a signature restaurant, which I think technically it is, but you could do like a burger for like $14.
The sliders are the cheapest thing on the menu.
That's one of my favorite things on the menu. I love the fly sliders, but then you can go to like oysters and fish and all that. It's just this huge menu that has amazing food quality. But let me paint you a picture. You show up, you walk into the joint, and there's this huge boat.
You're right.
Sitting there right in the front. That is a table.
I know.
How awesome is that? And then
I've never sat at the boat though. I always sit at a regular old table.
True.
Yeah, put me in the boat.
And then that first bar you see there is awesome. The bartenders are great. They're having a good time. They're like Tom Cruise back there mixing all these awesome drinks for you.
Cocktails and dreams, baby.
And then you keep walking around to your table, and you keep walking and you keep walking and you keep walking because it's a huge restaurant, but every room is like themed a little different. You're looking out on the water. You see the Ampli cars, like the Ampli boats, out there like cruising away. You see Saratoga Springs. You just have this great view. And then if it's a Friday or Saturday night, all of a sudden, boom, some guy starts playing music, and then you're being entertained there. Everyone's having a great time.
37, or we at Boathouse?
That atmosphere is unbelievable to me, and it's 100% equal. I mean, the food matches the atmosphere. They are both fantastic. That's why it's the best restaurant at Disney Springs, one of the best restaurants at Walt Disney World.
It's true.
And especially if you go at if on a nice lunch day, you like just sit outside. Like those tables outside are so great on a breezy Florida day. Like, oh man, I just wish I was there right now. I mean, because we're hungry, because we can talk about all these restaurants, but to be outside on a breezy night like that, just doesn't get better than that to me. But it's equal because the food is so dang good too.
You made a case. And the thing is, Sunday night, we're going to continue this conversation with our callers. We're going to open up the phone line. So if you want to give us your 2 cents, totally do it Sunday night. And in the clubhouse immediately as the show releases, boom, jump in and let's do this. But here,
Mike, you got the last one for us, right?
Well, we're going to do mine, and then we're going to do one lightning round where we're not going to give a dissertation. We're just going to give an answer.
I majored in lightning rounds.
There we go. Here we go.
Thank you, friends quote. I got that one. That was good.
Okay, whatever. Here's mine. My favorite restaurant.
Oh, I know it is.
Olivia's Cafe.
Oh,
we're going right down the Sassagoula from Boathouse. You can almost see it from the Boathouse if you're sitting outside. Olivia's Cafe. Food quality, atmosphere. I'm going Scotty G first on this one because you're scratching your head. I'm not giving you a think. Because as a teacher, you're supposed to give think time.
Because the atmosphere is so good. And I know one of my favorite features of the atmosphere is something you're trying to recreate in the Be Our Guest studios right now, Mike. And it's like the
wall,
the family members, the wall of photos. It's like my favorite thing. You see all these DVC members from the mid 90s to today. Like, it's just awesome. And then if you can get a table outside, oh boy.
Which we usually do.
Yeah, and especially at night because they have like the string lights out. You can sometimes see the fireworks over at Epcot, and depending on the time of year too, because if it's actually Epcot fireworks are always 9:00. So if you got a late reservation, you can see some fireworks. But anyway, you see the boats. It's unbelievable setting. But one of my favorite all-time dishes is at this restaurant, right? I mean, the buttermilk chicken, hands down, is like my favorite thing. Man, it's the problem is I just don't order much other, so I don't know how the rest of the food is. I like the Duval Street burger. Their breakfast is really good too. But when it comes to dinner, I'm only getting one item every single time. But I know I got to come up with an answer. We're going long here. I'm going to say equal, especially if you're sitting outside because that atmosphere is so good. It's my home resort, Mike. It's my home. You got the background music playing. You got families walking. It's so good. And you got you see the Surrey bikes going by. There's just something about it. And I'm focusing on being on that outside patio. Like that is vacation for me. Like having a meal with my friends and family, Mike, with you guys hanging out with us, just having a great time, laughing as we wind down the day, fireworks going. That atmosphere is so good, and it does match the quality of that buttermilk chicken, in my opinion. So we're equal.
Yep. Rikki, go ahead.
I think I honestly, as great as I love the outdoor part of the restaurant and, the indoor is really cool too. I think I'm going to go with food over atmosphere here. I do. The food is really good at Olivia's. And I think it's just a smidgen better than the atmosphere. So this one's kind of a no-brainer for me. It's really easy. So I'm food hands down for sure.
And I'm going with everything Scott said. I'm going equal to. If you're inside, it's still fine, but that outside patio just takes it to another level. And the other thing I'm going to add that I love when I'm eating outside is with having maybe an evening drink over my meal with my friends, my family. Nice weather usually. A lot of times back home it's cold and it's nice and comfortable down there. I'm wearing shorts for the first time in forever. I love that you have that pathway there that people are coming and going. They're not usually in a hurry though for some reason, but you hear them talking about their day. Usually it's grandparents and grandkids, moms and dads, and they're talking about what they did at Epcot or at the studios or the Magic Kingdom that day. They're coming back with balloons and souvenirs, and it's just cool to kind of eavesdrop on what they did that day. I don't know. It's you're sitting there because you sit there usually for an hour over a meal, and it's just kind of fun to see people come back with their sous vides and their memories. Just Scott, do you notice that too?
Yeah, I do notice that. And I just want to comment because you made a great line about people don't seem to be stressed or in a hurry. It's because it's Old Key West, man.
I know, that's why it rocks. It's a community. It's not.
It is a community, and you see a mix, but you're seeing some. I mean, you're going to see some older folks there, lifers for Disney Vacation Club, and
that's true.
That's their vacation. It's just they probably half of them probably don't even have theme park tickets because they're just hanging out at the resort.
They're winning so hard. Yeah,
it's just like, how can you not be super chill and just having a great time? The last thing you do at any Disney resort really is like stressing about the bus and the theme parks. And I get it, that happens, with vacations, but you're 100% right, Mike. You see it so much less at Old Key West because everyone's just chill, having a good old time. Man, I wish I was there right now.
Same. Meet you at Olivia's on the patio.
Yes, let's go. Let's book flights right now.
Lightning round. We're not going to give tons of comments. Yeah. Rikki, give us. Oh, shout out to Jared in the Instagram who's tuned in on the Disney Fantasy right now.
My God.
Go ahead. What's up?
All right. I'm going to go with California Grill. I feel like this one could go many different places. So, Mike, where are you going with this one?
I've never had a meal here. I'll be honest. I've been.
Oh, that's true. You haven't. Yeah,
I've been in this place a few times for different media events, but it's never like a meal proper. It's been set up for grab stuff and do stuff. But I will say from my experiences up there, this is going to be equal too, because you're going to have the environment of like the unbelievable view of. I've seen the view. I've watched the fireworks from up there. I've had, we had the private room event, and it's amazing. It is an experience. It's not, like a crazy character experience, but it's an elegant. It's a Disney fan, like top 10 experience. But the food quality up there, amazing. Signature restaurant, so equal to.
Right.
Equal to all day. Like that. I just love it when I'm on the window there too, because I love going out to the observation deck and watching the fireworks. But something about California Grill, you could just be sitting right there on the window, just enjoying your meal, watching Happily Ever After. It just doesn't get better than that. And that food quality is exceptional. But if you choose to go out to the observation deck, that's an unbelievable feeling. Like I just remember years ago when it was still Wishes, Emily was just out there singing the whole song Wishes, and all these people were gathering around, watching her, just adoring her. As her sweet little voice is singing Wishes. Oh my God, that's why it's still my number one. But I just love taking my wine out there, watching the nighttime spectacular. It's just so cool, and the food quality is great. It's 100% equal.
I agree. Rikki, what do you think?
Oh, 100% equal. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You've got the view that's unmatched by basically almost anywhere, and you've got the food, which is spectacular. So equal for sure.
Awesome.
All right, Scott.
All right, Rikki, give us 50s prime time. What are you going with?
I equal for sure. The food here is so yummy. There's so many different things that I can choose from here, whether it's the fried chicken or the meatloaf or the pot roast. Those are thank goodness they came up with Mom's Sampler, because those are just the best things, seriously. And a lot of times I do have a hard time deciding which one I'm going to get. So a lot of times I'll get the sampler with Brian, we'll split it, and then we'll get either an appetizer or a dessert and, have that be our meal. But you've got the atmosphere too. I mean, where else are you going to get yelled at by mom or your cousin or your uncle or whatever? It's just, I've had some amazingly fun experiences here. Again, yes, it does kind of depend on the cast member and how much they play with you and how much you play with them, because I feel like this is definitely a restaurant where the more you play back, the better they know that they can play with you. So I'm going to say equal for sure on this one.
I'm going to also say equal to, because I do love the home style food. It's great stuff. I always go with the Mom Sampler, but let me just say this. They have cut the size of the portions at 50s prime time on half over the years. I mean, it used to have very generous portions, and now it is Mom's Sampler, whatever it's called, is absolutely a sampler. I can leave there and have the sampler platter and still be hungry, even with having a PB&J shake.
Yeah, this is my Space 220 for Rikki.
Got it.
10 years ago, I would have said this was equal. And I think they've taken some things off the menu that were some old favorites. And I understand you got to retouch the menu sometime. This is the only way you can get the PB&J shake right now too, which is kind of frustrating. I wish you could go to 2 million and still get it. But Mike, I feel so bad that Pam was not there that one night where it was over the pandemic when we went there and closed down the studios, or closed at 6 p.m. or whatever. Yep. We had that cast member from Morocco. He was
wild,
absolutely insane, and that was the best atmosphere I've ever had. I think in any Disney restaurant. And yeah, so I just had to go 100% atmosphere over food because just I feel like the quality's gone down a little bit and like those portion sizes too. But
I do give you that. The portion sizes I think have gone down a little bit there. So okay, maybe not a little bit, a lot, but yeah.
Okay, so this one's I'm gonna throw it in. Scott, you haven't been here, but I think I want to get your take on this, even though you haven't been there, because I think you want to go here. We're gonna go beer garden in Germany.
okay, yeah,
beer garden in Germany. Rikki, have you been there?
I have.
Okay, go for it. What do you think?
I honestly think I'm gonna say equal to. The atmosphere is so much fun in there. You've got the band that performs. It's it's like you're dining outside, but it's nighttime, and it's a really cool atmosphere. And then the food is actually really good. It took me a long time to dine here because I'm not the biggest German food fan, but Brian is.
You have to be a meat fan and somebody likes desserts.
Understandable, but I didn't know that because, again, I'm not the biggest German food fan, and Brian is. So we went there for the first time for Father's Day last year, and it was really good. The food was excellent. So I'm going to go with equal to on this one. Yeah.
And Corey says over on Instagram, and the beer, which I'm not a beer drinker, but dude, I love this place. And they have the biggest beer steins. Cause I sat down once. I went here. I love this place so much. I went here solo one time by myself. And you said these long communal tables. I end up sitting with Be Our Guest Podcast listeners because they saw my pop socket that has the logo on my phone. They're like, do you listen to the Be Our Guest Podcast? I was like, yes, I do listen to the Be Our Guest Podcast. They're like, because when I said that, they're like,
the voice.
Like, are you
Mike? I was like,
part of the Be Our Guest Podcast?
I'm like, I do the show. So we're like,
honestly, you don't actually listen though. I mean,
I don't. That's true. I lied. Yeah. But then they held up their big beer stein. They said, "Oi, oi, oi," or whatever they say in there. And we were friends for the next hour and a half down in sausages like nobody's business. But Scott, what do you think about beer garden as far as this equation?
Yeah. So the atmosphere just looks amazing. Like, I mean, you and Simon were talking this up to make it sound like it's a brilliant restaurant.
It's brilliantly brilliant.
Yeah. And, I love drinking some beer. So like, I definitely, I mean, it's on my list, Mike. It truly is. I really want to get there because like live entertainment is just one of the most like special things to me. And Walt Disney World does it so great. I wish there was just more of it. They cut back on some of our entertainers, but just to be at a meal, like celebrating all that and just seeing like all the great, I'm guessing it's like dancing and singing and playing instruments or whatever. It just sounds incredible to me. I just don't know if the food can match up. I don't think it does, but I haven't really heard anyone knock it. Like you and Simon were just talking about it. Rikki and Brian were liking it. So like, I think I just got to book it for our Thanksgiving trip is what's going to happen.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. But I'm going to go for now atmosphere over food quality because my perception is like it's just not going to match, but we'll find out soon.
Yeah, Rikki nailed it. I love the places where you go in, it's like 100 degrees outside, and it's like the sun's beating down on you. You walk inside, and it's nighttime, and you're like you're in a German village. Like it's like, woof, this is sweet. Like I've been transformed like some other time and place. Food there is outstanding. I mean, if you're a vegetarian, I'm sure they have vegetarian options. But I mean, if you are somebody that likes meat, you're just like, I've died and gone to heaven. Lots of cheeses. The desserts there are underrated. There's tons of good desserts. I mean, like the beers.
Is it a buffet?
Like it is a
yes.
buffet. Yes, it's a buffet. So you can just go back and just destroy it. Like you and I, man, it's like the heads up, man. It's on like Donkey Kong. And then, it's communal, but I think like folks like us, like that's a plus. Like I love meeting people. Like it's awesome.
I don't know that it's as communal as it once was, though. I feel like it was definitely more table. Like me and Brian just sat together. So I think since COVID, they haven't necessarily brought the communal part back as much as they had before.
I mean, I think you're going to probably sit around people. Well, who knows? Well, maybe not. I mean, but I'm fine with it. Like I like talking to people. And
you got me convinced. Mike, come down for your birthday. Thanksgiving, we'll go. All right.
Yeah, do beer garden. So anyway, that is today's show. So continue the conversation. Come over to the clubhouse right now. Join us here on a Friday. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Discord. We'll have more conversations. You can throw in a restaurant. Scott and I are in there a lot. Rikki will probably hop in today if she has a little time, and we'll give our thoughts. Greater than, less than, equal to for the atmosphere and the food quality. And you can, we can continue this. And of course, Sunday night, we'll have the conversations live on the open line. So join us for that Sunday night, all the locations, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch as well. 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Give us a call, and we'll just keep this going right there as well. Don't forget our show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan the next Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney vacation. Just swing by the website at themagicforless.com. No cost to you. That's the best deal. You can save your money for beer garden, or
For sure.
get those fancy sliders over at the boathouse, or go to Space
I'll
220.
just say all these places were great. I'm so hungry now.
Dude, I'm dying. I'm totally with you. Also, thanks to our Patreon supporters. You guys are the best. You make this all possible. You can support us as well. Just $5 a month to get our bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. We'd love to have you at patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And I think that's it, except for our social media. Give Rikki a follow. She's at Rikki Nibs, RIKKINIBS. Scott's at Epscott, EPSCOT. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike, Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. All right, we're going to jump out of here and wish you a great weekend. Seriously, if you go out and have a good time this weekend, stay safe. Get a designated driver, Uber, Lyft, whatever it takes, a cab. Just be safe, because we want you to be here on Monday. Have fun, but always be safe and be healthy until we talk to you again. So we'll talk to you. And I screwed up the intro or the exit, but hey, we're out of here. Hola, have a good adios, and we'll see you real soon. Totally messed that one up, but oh well.
Dude, I love it because you're so such a machine with all this thing. So it's just great to see you be a human for once.
Yeah, I was
Right?
not a machine there. That sucked.
It was a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
I made so many mistakes on this vlog of the Starbucks. I'm thinking about making a blooper reel at the end, but then it's just too long of an episode to begin with.
You're like, if I had a blooper reel, it just gets longer.
Yeah, maybe I could just keep some bloopers and I'll just do a blooper reel episode. There we go.
And it's more editing.
Yeah, that would be more
your
editing.
life harder. That's why people are like, you don't do bloopers. I'm like, no, because I'm starving by then. I just want to go eat.
Exactly.
All right. Hey, that was fun though. That was a good show.
Yeah, I like that episode. Yeah, I like
We can
and
go-
those questions. It was a good time.
That was good. Well,
I
thank
have
you
some pork
guys.
chops now and mashed potatoes. I'm hungry.
Oh, yum.
Taco
That sounds
Bell.
good.
Let's get these everywhere.
Brian's bringing me Whataburger, I think. So
Oh, Whataburger, dude! Whataburger is so good. I wish we had that.
yeah, they just started building a bunch of them here. So
Dang, you're so lucky. All right. Well, we'll see
All
you
right, see you guys
week.
later.
I'll see you again next week. Can I comment?
I think I'm okay next week, but I'm not 100% sure. So
All right. G, you good?
I mean, I should be. I mean, I know Emily's got something, but Liz can probably take her to it or whatever. So we'll figure it out. She starts segment 2 on Monday too, so she'll be getting her license here. Anymore.
crazy.
I know she was not in a hurry to get her license, but
Yeah.
now that summer's coming, she wants to drive.
She's
her
like,
friends around.
oh, I want to get a
It's funny. It's her whole friend group. She's the youngest one, and none of them care to get their license. But
That's that age group. My
I talked about that
father-in-law.
on Mike in the Midwest.
My
Yeah.
father-in-law couldn't understand that. He's like, why do they not want to get their licenses?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Same.
"They just
but she
don't."
kind of wants to be the ringleader this summer, so
Got it.
she's like, let's go get it now. So I'm like,
Got
all
it.
right, that's fine.
All
That is true. As long as somebody that's a good point. If somebody in the friend group has a license, then
Yeah,
you're
then it's fine.
good. But
And I'm
yeah.
happy that it's my kid.
That's
to be
true.
honest. So, all right.
All right.
Have
see
a
you guys
great week.
later.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye, everyone.